Thank you for this kind words. So this is another presentation connected with Croatian glagolitic script. So as you have already heard, the topic of our presentation today is the development of the web version of the dictionary of the Croatian redaction of Church Slavonic. I will first say something about the dictionary in general and about the challenges in its compilation, and then we will focus on the current process of creating a web version of the dictionary. To begin with, I will just say a couple of words about the institution where the dictionary compilation takes place. It is the Old Church Slavonic Institute in Zagreb. It is the main Croatian academic institution that focuses on the research of Croatian glagolitic script and glagolitism. On the slide, you can see our webpage where you can find more information about our institute. The information are currently only in Croatian, but we plan to change that soon. This is how our main building looks like. Next, I will say something about the language our dictionary represents. So Croatian Church Slavonic, or traditionally Croatian redaction of Church Slavonic, is a language based on the first literary language of the Slavs, the Old Church Slavonic, but created under a strong influence of the Croatian Čakavian vernacular. It was used from the end of 11th until the 16th century. Most of the texts were translated from Latin source texts, and the texts were written in Angular or Croatian glagolitic script. The Dictionary of Croatian Redaction of Church Slavonic is a long-term project of the Old Church Slavonic Institute in Zagreb. It started in 1958. And it took the next 30 years to build and complete the corpus for the compilation of the dictionary. In 1991, the first fascicle of the dictionary was printed. So far, 23 fascicles have been published with dictionary entries from A to I, which is less than a third of the overall number of letters in the glagolitic script. So you can see that it's really slow process, and there are several reasons for the slow compilation process. One of the problems is that currently the project has no or very limited funding. There are only 3+1 PhD students, so 4 people working on it that are all engaged in different other projects as well. The dictionary entry is quite complex, as you will be able to see, and since the language is not modern and currently spoken, it takes a lot of effort for the researcher to become capable for compiling this dictionary. We will next briefly describe the corpus of the dictionary and the structure of the dictionary entry. So Croatian Church Slavonic corpus was excerpted from 66 glagolitic sources. It is a handwritten paper card file corpus. There are 2 main card files. One is the so-called Azbuka card file. You can see one example on the slide based on the Azbuka sequence of lemmas. And the second card file is so-called source card file. It contains information on variations of the given token in other glagolitic sources. Apart from these 2 source cards, there are 3 additional card files containing Croatian Church Slavonic lemmas with their Latin and Greek parallels. Approximately, there are more than 1 million cards in the Croatian Church Slavonic corpus, which were written in more than 20 different handwritings. Since our dictionary is generally corpus-driven, the corpus is the most important source for our work. On this slide, you can see the structure of our Azbuka card file. So you can see the lemma, its Latin and Greek parallels, a noted token, source abbreviation, and the text identification. And you can see Croatian Church Slavonic text and its Latin or Greek protograph. Currently, as a result of our efforts to modernize the dictionary, the Azbuka card file and sources card file have been scanned. There is an ongoing attempt to convert the raster image format of the corpus into machine-readable text using EBI flexi capture. We have also been trying to use transcribus, which we usually use for the HTR of glagolitic texts. But the success of all our attempts, as well as its repercussions on the compilation process, are yet to be determined. In our institute, there are also a few ongoing projects on either only transliteration or both transliteration and multi-level markup of text that also form part of our corpus. The main question concerning corpus is, could our corpus be prepared in such a way that it could be used, that it could be managed by a corpus query system to support language analysis, for example, Sketch Engine, which is used by most Croatian lexicographers working on modern dictionaries. We believe that many features that, for example, Sketch Engine offers, such as word sketches, word sketch differences, and so on, would be very useful for our work as well, and would facilitate the process of dictionary compilation. Currently, our concordances are not very transparent and not very informative because they exist on multiple cards, and therefore they're very difficult to use. But the problem is also that we have a lot of different versions of the same text, and all the individual differences are relevant for the lexicographers. On the slide, you can see the dictionary entry. So it's a 5-idiom and 4-script entry. You can see Glagolitic and Old Cyrillic script, Latin script, and Greek alphabet. The languages are modern Croatian, English, Greek, Latin, and of course, Croatian Church Slavonic. Latin is not only the language of the parallels, but also the meta-language of lexicographic description. As a part of the entry, we also give various data such as orthographic, graphic, syntactic, morphological, and so on. The second set of questions and problems is connected to the previously published volumes. So until now, the dictionary was available only in print, and it has not been available online. We have scanned the first volumes in a PDF form, and they were optically read, but are only partly searchable due to the usage of different script and many unstandardized letters. We have the newer volumes in Word and PDF form, but some of the fonts are not Unicode. Therefore, the question we started with was what could be done with these previously published volumes. So one possibility was to leave them only in the printed form and unavailable to a wider audience. We, of course, weren't happy with that solution. The other possibility was to publish them online in the current form of digitization, that is, as a PDF file. We weren't happy with that either. So at the end, we decided that we're going to make an online version of our dictionary, that we're going to make a portal where the dictionary will be available. But we had to choose an option that was either free or very cheap, and that was also very easy to use for non-IT experts, such as the members of our group. So Josip, who is our IT help, is now going to present some of the problems we have faced or are still facing, some of the solutions, and the current state of our web portal.
Okay, thank you. So as previously mentioned, we have a lot of Word documents, which, I mean, have problems because there are a lot of symbols that are not displayed correctly. So certain symbols had to automatically be replaced. This is a table now. It's not clear because there's no color, but first and third column, these symbols had to be replaced with the ones in the second and fourth column. And this had to be done, even a case-sensitive option had to be turned on when replacement was done. This was done so that the Glagolitic fonts and Cyrillic fonts would be displayed correctly. After that, we had something that looks like a dictionary. Let's say we have texts that can be then transferred to an online dictionary system. Now, as far as the system, we decided to use WordPress because WordPress is easy to use, it's open source, it's free. It also has a user interface that is very user friendly. It looks like a Word document. You can see it on the left. So you can edit the text. You don't need to have any coding skills, but some customizations had to be made inside the system because we have to display the Glagolitic letters and Cyrillic letters. So fonts had to be integrated inside the systems, and they're also integrated inside the editor, so the editor can actually change the font to Glagolitic one when he's working on the entry. And entries had to be displayed in glagolitic font and be searchable and be interlinked. Okay, this is how the dictionary looks. I mean, okay, there will be a better picture later. But when searching, there is a problem because because there are certain symbols that are not easy to write in glagolitic because, I mean, basic letters are, but there are few of them that require a combination of characters. So we created a virtual keyboard down here. We put it all the symbols. Is also useful if because you're writing on a Croatian keyboard, so you maybe don't know what certain symbol is, so you can basically use this. It also works on mobile phones. This in the middle is the list, the index of all the entries. You click them and okay, I'll go to this later, and okay, and then you get this. These are the information that Anna previously mentioned. Some of these entries are also interlinked. I think we have a link here and here. Okay, I also want to mention another option. So this is not connected to this dictionary, but there are problems when you want to display certain structures. One of the options that can be made is that you can always make a link to the original document. If you have a list of entries, currently in Miroslav Krleža Institute, we're working on a sport lexicon, which will also be available online. We had a list of entries and a page on which they are displayed in the document. So we were able to create we created an online version which is searchable, where you can find the entry, you can click on it, and then it leads you to that page on the published dictionary. This was done in like a week, I think. So this is a very fast option when you have like a very complicated printed dictionary and you want to make it available online. But of course, the online version where you can select and search and link the text is always much better. Also, you can make revisions much easier. And I'll allow the final words to you.
And previously in our dictionary, the synonyms were labeled at the end of each entry, and that's what we did with the links in the online version. So you don't have to search for the synonym manually. You just click on it and you go directly to the synonym. I will just say a couple of words about the dictionary compilation process, since we're also trying to find a way to improve it. Currently, the dictionary is compiled as a simple Word document. That means that everything is done manually, including copying examples, changing fonts, font sizes, and so on. Synonyms are labeled manually and so on. And all that slows the process of dictionary compilation and is also inconvenient for the dictionary users. So we were wondering, and we are wondering, what could a dictionary writing system be used to support the preparation of the dictionary text, or is the dictionary structure of our dictionary just too complicated? Currently, we're developing a structure that will enable us to compile the dictionary online using WordPress, and so the online version will be automatically new words will be added automatically, but the process of making the structure of the dictionary is also quite challenging. So as you could hear from this overview, our dictionary is a highly structured document, and the dictionary grammar, which is at the center of our project, is extremely complex. As you can see from the current state of the art of the project, there are a lot of challenges in front of us, but we are happy that the finished part of our dictionary will soon be completely available online. Further information on the project can be found on the following links you can see here, and we hope that on these links you will be able to find the link to our dictionary, online version of our dictionary very soon. Thank you for your attention.